Hey guys, it's Commander Video here. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing Alex Jones versus Cenk Uygur. So let's get into this. So we'll start in California, where I think Thao's actually going to have a real chance here. You know, the Asians obviously come out huge for Thao because she's Asian, and obviously all the simps too because she's Asian. So obviously people always simp for Asians, and Cenk is not going to do all that well with Asians. He's going to alienate them just like he alienated the Armenians because of the Armenian genocide. But Anna Kasparian obviously does fiery rallies there. And obviously, since Cenk did really bad in his congressional race in California, he only got 5%. I believe he only get 5% now. And in Alex Jones, he's a popular. He's obviously America First, so he's not going to do well in California at all. And obviously, being America First, he's not going to do well with Asians. So Jeff, I think, endorses Thao. And, Jeff and Thao's fiery naked rallies in California are going to make California go for Thao. And then obviously Alaska goes for Alex Jones, and Thao does very well in Hawaii. They're even more Asians than there than California. And then Arizona obviously goes for Alex Jones with Lalo and John McCain's fiery rallies in the dry heat. Bring the neocon turnout huge for Alex Jones, since Alex Jones is not going to do well with neocons at all. Lalo, at least with his "we need to stay right-wing economically" platform, is going to make Alex Jones still hold on to Arizona. And then obviously Utah goes for Thao easily. Her army of Sims come out huge for Thao in Utah. Also, the Americans' endorsement is going to help there. And in Nevada with DX Deity, he doesn't want his taxes raised by Cenk Uygur, but he also doesn't like Alex Jones because he's alright, he's racist, he's bullshit. So DX Deity endorses Thao, pays billions of dollars for the prostitutes to come out huge for Thao, and she's easily going to win Nevada. And then obviously Idaho goes for Alex Jones with Canyon's endorsement, makes Idaho go for Alex Jones. The farmers. Alex Jones is going to be struggling with the farmers, and Canyon helps Alex Jones with the farmers. And then obviously Cenk is obviously going to win Oregon, with Blue Voyagers. Fiery rallies and him suppressing the Republican vote and arresting Red Voyager, so he can't endorse Alex Jones, makes Oregon go blue. And then Washington obviously goes blue with Postie's endorsement. Postie loves the Young Turks. And then obviously all the farm states are going to go huge for Cenk because, the Green New Deal, and all the farmers are done with Trump. They're done with this, with, Jared Kushner and this establishment GOP that they think Alex Jones is still a part of. So obviously Cenk Uygur is going to do very well in the farm states, and AOC obviously is going to be doing fiery rallies there for Alex Jones, making the farm states go for Cenk Uygur, except for Oklahoma and Missouri. And then obviously Colorado, Alex Jones, he's for weed, just like he's for super male vitality, which Red Eagle likes too. So Red Eagle and Alex Jones are going to be doing fiery rallies in Colorado, throwing super male vitality, making it out as it's like weed or some shit like that. And it's going to make Colorado go huge for Alex Jones, and as well as New Mexico, since Cenk is not going to be doing well with Hispanics at all. So I think Alex Jones is going to get them, since they're more malleable than blacks are. So New Mexico goes for Alex Jones, and also Texas easily goes for Alex Jones with my endorsement for Alex Jones. I do fiery rallies for Alex Jones. I think Thao comes in second in Texas, just because she's gonna get the simp neocon vote out in the suburbs of Dallas, and it's gonna be Thao gets the cringe simp vote out. It's gonna be cringe, and then the rest of the South, I think Alex Jones does well in the South, but Cenk is going to do well in Arkansas, obviously, with Bill Clinton and Hillary and Epstein and little girls fiery rallies in Arkansas is really going to make Arkansas go blue. And then Mississippi obviously goes blue. It's cooked. They changed their flag. They're not based anymore. And obviously Alabama, Tommy Tuberville's fiery rallies calling for amnesty with Cenk Uygur obviously makes it go blue. And I think Allen is going to come out for Alex Jones, even though he thinks he's all right. I don't think Allen's gonna be all that enthused with Thao, and I don't think Allen's gonna simp for Thao. So I think Allen endorses Alex Jones. And then Florida, it's gonna go for Alex Jones because Xenox is an elite team of hackers. They don't like Alex Jones, right? They want Fuentes. They don't want Alex Jones. They think Alex Jones is cringe libertarian. So they're gonna try. They're gonna do everything in their power to get a third party that's not in this election to get elected. Obviously, they don't like Thao because, they think she's cringe and she's Asian, and they don't like Cenk either, so they're not going to endorse Cenk, but they are going to make Florida go for Cenk, just so Cenk can win instead of Alex Jones, because they think it's going to be more fun having Cenk as president than Alex Jones. So, Trump still comes out, obviously, for Alex Jones, and Sex Laptop does too, but that's not going to be enough to win Florida. And then D.C. is going to go for Thao, the establishment, obviously, and then Virginia, obviously, the establishment thinks they're fucked, because, obviously, Cenk Uygur is the Democratic nominee, so they think they're fucked. So they're gonna spend billions of dollars on Thao to get her elected. So Virginia easily goes for Thao, and so does Maryland. You know, because LTE, he doesn't like Cenk at all. He likes AOC, but he doesn't like Cenk. So he's gonna come out for Thao because she's Asian, she's reasonable. So LTE and Asian, and Thao's fiery rallies in Baltimore, getting huge TikTok turnout everywhere in Maryland, makes that state go for Thao. And then North Carolina goes for Alex Jones, even though Baxter is gonna try to get huge black turnout for Cenk in North Carolina. It's just not gonna work out. And Farway obviously, and Tom Tillis pressing the black vote in North Carolina easily makes that state go for Alex Jones. And then Delaware easily goes for Thao because, you know, Kevin and Finnegan, you know, Kevin's still a simp, and he doesn't like Alex Jones, and he doesn't like Cenk. So he's going to come out huge for Thao. Kevin and Finnegan do fire naked rallies in Delaware, and Thao easily wins Delaware. It's also very establishment there, too. And then Cenk easily wins West Virginia. Obviously, you know, the co-workers, they always come out huge for him, and with Fletcher and DTD's fiery rallies, he's obviously going to win West Virginia. And then Ohio easily goes for Alex Jones. You know, Dylan White is pressing the black vote because Republicans are racist. There's bullshit. That's what Cenk says. Cenk gets Nina Turner's endorsement, so Ohio's going to be very close. But with Dylan White, he's going to be able to suppress just enough black people so they don't come out and vote in Ohio, and that makes the state go for Alex Jones. And then Indiana easily goes for Alex Jones. And Illinois goes for Cenk. You know, Cenk doesn't do that well with blacks, but I think he's still going to do well in Illinois enough. And also Nathan's not going to do a good job, since Nathan's going to kind of simp for Thao. And Nathan's going to kind of endorse Thao, so his army of orangutans come out for Thao, which is going to hurt Alex Jones, and it's going to make Illinois go for Cenk. So Cenk wins in Illinois narrowly. And then Minnesota obviously is a very weird state. You know, Cenk Uygur is obviously going to do very well there. Get Ilhan Omar's endorsement, Ilhan Omar and Schenk's fiery rallies. Get huge Muslim turnout, and obviously George Floyd's endorsement, do fiery high rallies in Minneapolis. And then Alex Jones easily wins Wisconsin because Cenk Uygur is not even allowed in the state in there anymore. So Alex Jones, without any opposition, easily wins Wisconsin. And then Michigan obviously goes for Alex Jones, even though Red Eagle's going to have a hard time endorsing Alex Jones over Thao Nguyen. Eventually, Red Eagle will endorse Alex Jones, and you know, Alex Jones, Red Eagle is the #1 user of Superman Vitality, so he's going to force everyone in Michigan to use it. Red Eagle is going to be known as Gretchen Whitmer 2.0, and that's going to make Michigan go red. And then New Jersey goes for Alex Jones. Connecticut goes for Alex Jones, and then Pennsylvania goes for Cenk. You know, Cenk is not going to be, Schenk's going to be doing well in the suburbs because Mike's going to be able to hold it for him, and obviously Fletcher getting huge coal simp workers out in western Pennsylvania really is going to make Pennsylvania go blue. And then Thao, Thau's not going to win Rhode Island, but Thao is going to win New York because, you know, it's Kevin's home state. Kevin and Finnegan obviously do fiery rallies for Thao, since Kevin's still a simp for Asian women, so Kevin simps for Thao. And obviously Fish hates Alex Jones, but she hates Cenk Uygur too, so Fish is gonna come out huge for Thao, do fiery rallies for Thao, talking about Yapamess, you know, how important Yapamess jobs are in New York, and it's really gonna make New York go for Thao. And then Massachusetts and Rhode Island go huge for Alex Jones because, you know, Matt Gagnon and the Gagnon UBI. You know, Alex Jones, 99% of his donations are going to come from Matt Gagnon, the Gagnon UBI, because, you know, no ordinary sane person is really going to donate to Alex Jones. Let's just be real here. So Alex Jones is going to rely heavily on Matt Gagnon's fat army and the Gagnon UBI, so he can win this election. So he wins Massachusetts and Rhode Island easily. And then Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine easily go for Alex Jones. So our final electoral map has no one winning, getting above 270, so it's going to go to the House, where I think the House will pick Alex Jones. So Alex Jones is going to win this election with 256 electoral votes to Cenk Uygur's to 153 to 1,129. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please leave video requests in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cenk Uygur Gaming out.